Imagine standing on a wind-swept mountain peak, the air thin and electric, and suddenly you hear the distant roar of something that feels older than time itself. That sound, that primal force, doesn't just shake the ground beneath you, it shakes something deep inside your soul. This is the call of the dragon. Not just a creature of fantasy, but a living, breathing symbol that has haunted human imagination for thousands of years. Let's begin in ancient China, where dragons were never just monsters. No, the dragon there was divine. The Chinese dragon, long, snake-like, with scales and whiskers, was the embodiment of imperial power. The emperor himself was called the Son of Heaven, and the dragon was his ultimate emblem. Only the emperor was allowed to wear the five-clawed dragon on his robes. To place a dragon on your home, your banner, or your body was more than decoration. It was a claim to cosmic authority. And unlike the destructive dragons of the West, Chinese dragons were bringers of good fortune. They danced in the skies as rain-bringers, guardians of rivers, and symbols of balance between heaven and earth. Entire rivers in China are still named after dragons, and to this day, the Dragon Boat Festival is celebrated to honor their spirit. Now cross the world to medieval Europe, and suddenly everything changes. Here, the dragon is the enemy, a great, fire-breathing serpent coiled in dark caves, sleeping on piles of stolen gold. The dragon here is greed itself, hoarding treasures it can never use. And it's only through courage, strength, and sacrifice that a hero can defeat it. Think of St. George, immortalized in art as he thrusts his spear into the beast. Think of Beowulf's final battle, locked in deadly struggle against a worm. In these tales, to fight a dragon wasn't just about slaying a monster. It was about proving yourself, showing that you had the strength to conquer chaos and claim your place in history. But the dragon is older than both Europe and China. In ancient Mesopotamia, the Babylonians told of Tiamat, the primordial chaos dragon. She rose from the sea, a swirling embodiment of destruction, only to be slain by the storm god Marduk. Her body was split apart to form the heavens and the earth. Creation itself, they believed, was born from the body of a dragon. In Norse mythology, there was Jormungandr, the world serpent, so massive it encircled the entire earth. When it finally releases its grip on its own tail, Ragnarok, the end of the world, will begin. And in the rainforests of Mesoamerica, the Aztecs worshipped Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, a god of wind, wisdom, and renewal. Do you see the pattern? Different shapes, different stories, different names, but always the same magnetic presence. Dragons represent the ultimate forces of life: creation and destruction, chaos and order, fear and power. They embody everything humanity struggles to understand, everything just beyond our control. And maybe that's why dragons feel so real. Carl Jung, the great psychologist, would argue that dragons are archetypes. They are the shadow made flesh, the parts of ourselves we fear the most, the chaos we try to avoid, the challenges we must face. To fight the dragon is to face our deepest fears. To befriend the dragon is to embrace that chaos and channel it. That's why in so many myths, the hero doesn't just win gold when they slay a dragon. They gain wisdom, maturity, and transformation. Think about it. Why does the dragon always guard treasure? Why not wolves or lions or something real? Because the treasure is symbolic. It represents what we most desire. Wealth, yes, but also knowledge, love, power, freedom. And the dragon is there because nothing worth having comes without a challenge. The dragon is the challenge. To get the treasure, you must risk everything. In the East, the lesson is clear. Align with the dragon and you thrive. In the West, the lesson is different. Defeat the dragon and you transform. One teaches cooperation, the other conquest. But both paths lead to the same truth. The dragon is the symbol of the human journey. Even today, dragons are everywhere. They soar across movie screens in epic battles. They breathe fire in video games, guarding digital treasures. They appear on tattoos, sports mascots, flags, and business logos. When we need to say, "This is unstoppable, this is beyond ordinary, this is power," we reach for the dragon. From Game of Thrones to How to Train Your Dragon. From the soaring dragons of Studio Ghibli to the pixelated beasts of role-playing games, the dragon continues to capture our imagination. But here's the real secret. Dragons are not just in old myths or modern stories. They live in you. Every time you face a challenge that feels overwhelming, that's a dragon. Every dream that feels out of reach, every fear that makes your stomach twist, that's a dragon. And you have the choice. Turn away or face it. Step forward like the heroes of old and take on the challenge. And when you do, when you stand your ground and claim the treasure, that's when you transform. Think of a dragon as your greatest teacher. It forces you to confront what you'd rather avoid. It dares you to go further than you think you can. It reminds you that power is never free. It must be claimed, earned, and respected. The dragon can be your worst nightmare or your greatest ally. It all depends on how you choose to face it. Let's go even deeper. In India, ancient texts spoke of the Naga, serpent beings who dwelled beneath rivers and lakes. They weren't exactly dragons, but they carried the same weight of mystery and power. Some Nagas were benevolent, offering wisdom and protection. Others were dangerous, flooding villages if not respected. In Japan, the dragon Ryujin ruled the sea, living in a palace of crystal and coral at the bottom of the ocean. Fishermen prayed to him for safe journeys, and emperors claimed descent from his line. Notice again how dragons aren't just beasts. They are rulers, guardians, ancestors. Travel to the British Isles and you'll find the Red Dragon of Wales, Y Draig Goch, blazing across the national flag. Legend says it fought against a white dragon, symbolizing invasion, until the red dragon triumphed, becoming the emblem of the land itself. To this day, when the Welsh see that dragon, it isn't just a symbol of myth, it's a rallying cry of identity, resilience, and pride. And then there are the ruins and carvings. At Angkor Wat in Cambodia, serpentine Naga guard the causeways, stretching like bridges between the human world and the divine. In Viking burial sites, dragon-headed prows were carved onto ships meant to carry warriors to Valhalla. Even in Native American traditions, Thunderbird myths echo dragon-like qualities, great winged beings who controlled storms, lightning, and cosmic order. The message is unmistakable. Across every culture, dragons are tied to power, transformation, and identity. They're not just fantasy, they're part of the way humanity has tried to explain the unexplainable. So the next time you hear the word dragon, don't just imagine a monster. Imagine a mirror showing you your fears, your limits, your hidden strengths. Because dragons have always been more than creatures. They are the ancient symbols of power, calling us to rise higher, to dare greater, and to claim the treasures waiting within. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Feel free to share it with a friend who loves a good mystery. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so you won't miss the next story. There's a lot more to uncover, and I'd love to have you along for the journey.